Cool. So if you are part of the YouTube filmmaking community at this point, there's a meme that has kind of been going around recently, which is just the phrase, gear doesn't matter. Everyone kind of loves to say it on YouTube. Gear doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're shooting on Arri Alexa. It doesn't matter if you're shooting on Blackmagic Pocket Cinema. I really think that's true, but I also think that it's really funny that the people that are always saying gear doesn't matter are also the people that are shooting on really expensive cameras with Zeiss glass or like L glass and really expensive gear. So I think it's kind of funny to hear it from someone who doesn't really abide by that philosophy at all. But you know, I'm not a person who's shooting on Arri Alexa or Blackmagic or, you know, Red cameras. To this day, I shoot on pretty budget camera bodies with pretty budget lenses. The reason for that is that I've just always really enjoyed the feeling I get from juicing a camera's potential to the very last drop. That's how I started off in videography. I started shooting on a Canon T2i with a kit lens, and I was blown away with the quality that you could create with this little tiny camera and this cheap little lens. I saw other creators on YouTube like Jacob Owens of the Buff Nerds putting out these music videos with just the T2i or the T3i and a 50mm lens, like less than $1,000, and just using natural light and creating these incredible videos. And still to this day, I'm shooting on pretty budget stuff. I'm shooting on a Canon 6D Mark II. And if you want to see why I love the Canon 6D Mark II, I have another video on my channel about that. Please go check it out. And the reason I do this is because it feels really good. It doesn't feel very good to just put a bunch of money into something and then know that you're gonna get, you know, a really good, sharp product out of it. What feels really good to me personally is putting in the effort and the time to learn a new set of skills in order to really utilize what you already have. I kind of think about it the same way that I approach music. I also play guitar, and I've never really bought a guitar that was over $500 because though that's an attractive prospect at times, I think deep down I know that it's not gonna make my fingers move any faster. It's not gonna give me a better understanding of theory. It's not gonna give me a better understanding of musicality. Rather, putting in the time and effort, practicing, doing it often, those are the things that are gonna give rise to me being a better guitar player. And it's really no different with videography. If you wanna be better at your craft, if you wanna make better products, and you wanna feel good doing it, don't just dump money into it. Take some time and consider what you have. What can you create with what you have? Even better, how can you work around the limitations that you have? To me, there's just an incredible feeling that comes with that. There's a really satisfying feeling that comes out of, instead of just immediately spending a bunch of money, taking some time, looking up some tutorials on YouTube. We have the internet now, you know, all information is free. I think it gets really tempting sometimes when you're facing a limitation to just dump money into the problem. I know I've definitely been there where I'm looking at some of the quality of my footage and I go, if I just had the next camera body up, if I just had this lens, this shot that I took would look better. But I think when you have that impulse, when you have that feeling, really take some time and examine it, because I think that's the worst time to upgrade. I think there is an appropriate time to spend more money on your kit. And for me, that's when I'm on set and I realize I don't have a tool, or I've exhausted all my options and I'm incapable of doing the thing that I need to do. In that instance, I think it's, you know, appropriate to consider, okay, I can't get the thing I need, I'm gonna upgrade, and this is the appropriate time to do it. And in that circumstance, I feel a lot better about spending the money on that thing, you know? When I just buy something out of this sense of, it's almost a manic feeling. I just need to get this thing because if I get this thing, my shots will look better and this will look better and then I'll get more business, I'll attract more customers. I never really feel satisfied when I actually then spend money in that circumstance. When I buy something out of a sense of, this is a tool that's gonna help me get to where I'm going and I know that I need it, that's when I feel satisfied making a purchase. I think it's hard because buying things feels really immediately satisfying a lot of the time. You think you're gonna solve that problem, you think your business is all of a sudden gonna take off, but the fact of the matter is, it's probably not going to feel satisfying for longer than like a day. Putting in the hard work, practicing, learning your lighting, learning how to work with your camera body, learning framing, learning your lenses. These are the things that I think are going to result in a really long-term satisfaction with your craft. I don't think that I'm saying anything groundbreaking here, but I do think, again, it's really interesting to hear a lot of these comments made from people that are shooting on incredibly expensive gear. I think it might maybe have a little more weight to it when it comes from someone who really does shoot on cheaper camera bodies, cheaper lenses, cheap lights, cheap audio. I do a lot of my work in post, and I do a lot of my work in trying to just improve myself as an artist and a creator. And I think you should too, because I think it feels really good. I don't think there's anything wrong with spending money when you've really reached your limitations with your gear, but I think it's really important that you try to exhaust all possible options first, because I think if you don't really take that time to exhaust all possible options, you're gonna miss just that little bit of time that it might take you to really take you to that next level of skill in your craft. Really, I think that's where the hard work is. It's much easier to just spend some money and, you know, get a new piece of gear and get that little bit of extra resolution and say, you know what, my work is done. It looks really good now. But I think that's exactly the moment where you just need to push a little harder, and you might be really surprised with the quality of your shooting after you push that bit more. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. I don't want to be, you know, one of those other people on YouTube that's just saying gear doesn't matter. But I think working with budget gear can really elicit a really wonderful feeling if you give it a chance to. So I highly recommend you do. I'll see you next time.